Yeah, thank you very much for talking, because I couldn't. But, you know, you bring up another point, and that's another reason why we added a lot of software. As a matter of fact, I write a lot of the software by talking to the people who use it, you know, and that's basically what happens. So what happens, the whole system is really a community-based built system. You know, it started out as one thing, but as the community puts an input into it, I just recreate it. I basically now work for the community, and I don't work for industry, right? So we're making our own community industry, basically, to help the community. And at the same time, we're making money for it, with it, and we're giving back 70% back to the community where it belongs, right? I guess that's one thing that's working, you know, something that is a community-based thing, which I hope we get more of those things. Let me go to another question so I can stop crying. I see one of the things that says, what are the opportunities for growth in your community? Well, this is one of them. You know, a lot of the problems with the advertisement is it's gotten so big in advertisement. Even when you watch television, they'll say that the ad for the Super Bowl was like $1 million for 30 seconds. To me, that's just criminal. Okay? For $1 million for 30 seconds, that's enough money to feed a whole area for many months, right? It just doesn't make any sense. And then what? They might have, what, 30 commercials? $30 million to sell something. I'm not going to say what it is to sell because I'll probably get chewed out. But it's over something that most people already know exists anyway. So it's just a waste of money to me. Let me see, it says, what businesses and sectors seem poised to rebound? Well, I know myself one is probably manufacturing of roads. You know, that's all I see. There's more road construction than I've seen in my life. You know, and we were just talking when we went to the mall. They're redoing the mall, which is weird to me too. There's nothing wrong with the mall, but they get a stimulus package to reface the mall with rocks. And it had to be millions of dollars to do it. Now, either they're trying to just do that to give somebody work, but they could have well took that $1 million and gave someone work somewhere else. You know, build a couple homes for people who lost their homes or something. You know, so does anyone else see anything that's rebounding other than the road or construction stuff? Especially in our Dallas area or even Allen area, all I see is road construction. Anything at all. So I guess that's what's rebounding is that kind of stuff. Let's see. This is, what do you see as jobs in the future? 80 many billboards. Okay.
More entrepreneurship.
Yeah, more entrepreneurship. Right? Home-based businesses, number one, right?
Internet-based stuff.
Internet-based stuff. You
And
know?
also energy.
And energy. Energy.
There's
That's
a lot of things out there that
Going green.
yes, and your ROI on your solar right now, they're coming up to speed on that. I've talked to two inventors up in Canada for an invention that I have, and all I'm doing is amalgamating. I was putting together a private placement, but because I didn't have the parts on hand, investors wanted 80 to 90%, where I could give 30 once I get the parts in hand. But that's another side story. But there's a lot of things out there for the energy sector. It's like where you had the $12. There's a lot of people out there that want to get moving, but they need loans from bankers, and the bankers aren't giving loans on that because of the government and their deal. So it's a double-edged sword. One company gets a loan and pays their CEOs all this money, but yet the people who are the small entrepreneurs, small business, they're having a hard time. It's like wrestling an elephant trying to get monies.
right. Yeah, I noticed, I was thinking about the energy thing. You know, this energy thing's been around for a long time.
Right.
It's only when people started making money off of it, it took off. They could have done it years and years ago.
Right.
Solar panels been out forever.
And
And all of a sudden, now that it's a green thing, Now they have energy, solar panels that put out, what, 6 times what they used to put out just a year ago. They could have did that. They could have did it a long time ago.
Well, A to Z go green.
Yeah. Hey, we went green.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. So now, instead of giant expense in ads, we went green by making them cheaper.
Not just that,
Right.
we're taking them off the
No
newspaper.
paper. No paper.
Paper, right.
I mean, cards fill a. I mean, business cards. I know, and that's another thing. One of the reasons why I did it. When I was looking on the wall, and that's why the thing was 2.5 by 4 foot. I can tell you why it was like that. I wanted to replace the cork board that you see on walls, those community cork boards. They have all the little business cards and all that kind of stuff on them, right? And I was thinking to myself, because people are real reluctant in technology. I know this, because I was a technologist as a kid. And they think you're crazy, right? So what you have to do is ease them into technology and make something that looks sort of like what they're used to, right? So I made a 4 foot thing out of the same cork thing, and did it in my living room with, wooden stuff. But I was just going to pull that one off, put this one in place. Problem is it weighed 45 pounds, required 2 people to hang it. So we had to do something different about that. But that was the whole deal. I saw the cards hanging on the wall, and they were just always falling down, papers always just sweeping up stuff. No one's really looking at that stuff. They only wanted it. They only got the card if they really wanted something on the wall, right? So all those cards were for nothing. That's one of the wasteful things. To me personally, business cards are pretty wasteful. You see so many of them, and you just give them out all the time. People look at them. Half the people don't even use them anyway. So
I'm using them.
you use them,
I'm putting them in the system.
Yep, there you go.
And also, I noticed I was in one city last weekend, and they have the postal cards all up and down the highway. And I was informed that they can only put them out there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So their community is not even allowing them to get exposure during the week. They have to take them down.
Even with regular cards and stuff.
Exactly. They have to take them down by Sunday night, because otherwise they're going to have that city cleaned up by Monday morning, because they don't want them to get that exposure just on the weekend.
See, it's the big keeping the big wealthy. That's what it is. If they were smart, they would allow a lot of those little entrepreneurial things to go on always, and just let people try to get some kind of job. I mean, make some kind of work.
Well, I think the Billboard system has really come into light, because I just got a call to see if I would put a garage sale on my Billboard system. I said, absolutely.
Exactly. Total grassroots.
Yeah.
That's the true blue.
Because they
reason why
advertise
she
in the
says-
newspaper,
Right.
so why not advertise on a digital one?
One thing that he touched on, well, before I go on and skip on this, I was going to tell him the new computer that's being used right now, the system that's being used for the Billboard system, only uses about 4 watts, like a light bulb worth of energy. That's it. So it is very green, go green, and I think we've embarked on something really great here. We produce something called Business Turns Profits into Charity. But the Billboard system allows sponsors and sponsor hosts to donate 10% of their profit to the charity of their choice. And the consumers are eager to give back. Okay? The system has also taken this tradition a step further by forming businesses to tackle specific problems in society today. Without the IRS constraints that nonprofits have, or the need to beg donors for money, these social entrepreneurs, which are all of us, we're finding more freedom to bring about change. The system also serves the plan-giving community as a practical resource for education, information, inspiration, and professional linkage. We assist sponsors and enable others to give generously. So at this time, what we're doing is we are bringing people in, like Shabbat Sanctuary, which is a great church. They give a lot back to the community. We are given off of every advertisement. In my personal Billboard system, I give 50 cents off of every advertisement back towards a nonprofit group. of my choice. And the sponsors who are sponsoring the system, like we're talking to big corporations that will be sponsoring systems, a percentage of their profits will be going to nonprofit organizations also. That's how we have planned community.
That's good. Yeah, and that right there shows you, now that's not my plan, even though I invented the hardware. Because it's community oriented, we have the community recreating the way it helps the community, because the community knows best, right? And I think it's a great thing. I mean, I wish I would have done it, but because it's community, I'm happy that someone in the community helped, you know, with this kind of system. Let's see what else we have. He says, what are the obstacles to job creation in your community? Well, we touched on some of that, right? But, they won't give us loans. Either they're scared or they're used to having so much money that they don't want to go down in their money. As a matter of fact, personal issue with my own family, and I can say it because my mom and dad, but they're sort of used to having money in the bank. And there's a lot of people like that, now being poor. Okay, so I can deal with going to the bottom because I know you won't die. You'll come out of it. And you sort of have to hit the bottom to know that there is a bottom and you can sort of come back out of it. People who are not used to losing everything are really scared of losing everything. You know, so I know my own parents, when they get 10,000 bucks or so in the bank, they're broke. If I had 10,000 bucks in the bank, I would be running like crazy, happy, and I'd be doing all kind of jigs and everything else. You know, I'm like, I'm rich. You know.
That race generation mentality.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, it's relative, right? It's your relative distance to being wealthy. If you're on the bottom, $10 is wealthy.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. You know.
Say something about being employed in this community.
Okay. So.
She's a human resource specialist.
Okay, so what do you see?
I think it's an awesome opportunity. I even told her that I would love to use this, like even when I'm recruiting for like just anything in general for our company. I told her that I was going to talk to, you know, my upper management to see if this way, you know, it would help me help people here where I live here in Allen that may be looking for jobs.
Well, and you know, it's totally community-based anyway, so if you have jobs to give, we have a place for you to show it.
Exactly, yeah. I think
You
it's
know.
an awesome idea, and I think it'll work great.
So many people out of work, anything would help.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I mean, when I didn't have a job, I was so low. When you're used to making $100,000 a year, and you haven't seen $100 in a year, I mean, it's a total different mentality. You're either sink or you swim. And I wasn't ready to die today. You know, I had to do something, right? And most of the people here are super intelligent. They're trained and everything else. It seems like if the bigger companies, if they would just reach out to all those people that need work, they would really help the companies. They have all this training and knowledge. You know, it wouldn't even take much money. You know, people are now happy. I mean, we have to make $30,000 a year. We've been living for a while off for a few $1,000s a month versus all that money we used to sort of take for granted, you know. But I found out when you're really poor, you can live off of a little bit of money, you know. Let's see here. What can make local businesses more likely to start hiring? Well, that's really in your field. What do you think?
Well, I think advertisement like this would help out reach other people that are not knowing where to go. You can be at the grocery store, you can be at a laundromat, and if something like this is on there, people can know what's out there, and it will help them. It will help or guide them where to go to, who to look for, or who to talk to.
Well, what do you think has been stopping you from using mainstream advertisement right now for business stuff?
Oh, because I just started learning a little bit more about it, but I think it's great. to
No,
start.
I mean, a different kind of question, like what I'm trying to lead you into is, right now, if you were to use a system that already existed to advertise a job, it probably costs you as much as that person will make in a job.
Yes.
Because it's so expensive, right? So it doesn't make sense to even advertise it. With a system like this, it's so cheap. Less than $1 a day, right? Yeah, so you can really actually, it makes sense that that you can use it now to even advertise an even lower paying job. You know.
And you can use it in a green way because you can advertise close to your job. I mean, you know, you can place your ads close to where your business is. You can pick and choose.
Target marketing.
Right, target market or splinter marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose to advertise on the whole network, or you could advertise in a location close to where you're looking to attract those people to work for your job.
Right, okay. That's community. That's the community right there, right?
And then they're having so many people out of work. Once they see that advertisement, they have like maybe 60 people applying for that one job.
Right, right.
You know, so that's going to show we need help to get some people to work. And with the Obama administration help supporting A to Z billboards to get more jobs out there in the community, for us to place more systems all over the nation, we need that support.